City put down a statement of intent out in League One as they smashed Portsmouth at Fratton Park. But what about the chasing pack? How did they get on? We'll take a little look at it. Nah. Let's give it another approach today. We'll take a look at match number, I don't know, 25, 26, 24, 23. I don't even know. But we'll get to it in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, and smash your subscribe and keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, League One related. Whoa! Football we're going to go here. Under Waruski. That's right, of course. Hull putting, 3, 4 past Portsmouth. Goodness gracious me. To go top of the pops. That's right. But of course, Lincoln keeping up the heat as well. We'll take a look at all that in just 1 second. A big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. The VIP exclusive gang. So thank you very, very much for becoming patrons to support the channel behind the scenes. I do appreciate it. But anyway, let's get into it. Of course, take a look at how you got on. Of course, how I got on. And then, of course, we'll see where we all are in the old prediction league. Let's get into it. Of course, take a look at it. Here we bloody go. Kick it all off. Way back when to MK Dons. They took care of Plymouth. Didn't they? Yes, they did. No, they didn't even play. They didn't even play. What am I talking about? No one knows about that. I didn't even put a pick in myself. Blackpool up against Accrington Stanley. Also, did not go ahead. That's right. Actually, the 2-1 win for Blackpool, but we're going to have to wait. Charlton up against Swindon, though, that did go ahead. 2-2 in the end. Goodness gracious. Alan Hope on the score sheet. Matthew Palmer for Swindon. Chuck Zanike and Andrew Shinney on the score sheet for Charlton, as points were split right down the middle. I actually went with Charlton. Shame on me. Meanwhile, Crewe against Wimbledon ended up 1-1. Again, got number 1. I went with a 3-1 win for Crewe. Goals of the day, Joe Pigger for Wimbledon. And of course, Oliver Finney on the score sheet for Crewe. As points split right down the middle. Doncaster against Burton. We'll have to wait and see on that bad boy. 2-0 for me. Of course, again, don't know. Gillingham drew against Rochdale. Van Dien Oliver and John Akinde on the score sheet with Jimmy Cohane. I get to go a couple of goals there for Rochdale. Who are free scoring, but also free leaking at the back. I don't know. There's just there'll be value for money. It's a shame that Rochdale fans can't follow their team up and down the country because they're just leaking goals. They're banging in goals. It's just madness. Meanwhile, big one here. Ipswich gets Peterborough. Ended up as a 1-0 win for Peterborough. A big win for them to get themselves back in the hunt. Of course, up to third now. Mark McGuinness was big for OG. Ooh, ugly. Actually, with a 2-2 draw myself. Meanwhile, I did talk about already. Lincoln 2-1 winners over Northampton Town. Conor McCrandall's Anthony Scully on the score sheet. Danny Rose getting on the score sheet for Northampton, but unfortunately too little, too late. Actually, I'm the 2-0 win myself. Not too shabby, but the form team right now is, of course, Oxford. They're just climbing up the table, of course. Matty Taylor with a couple of goals in a 2-0 win over Bristol Rovers. I actually went with a 3-0 win. Not too bad. The big one, though, of course, the big result in the end. 4-0 winners for Hull. Jack Wackmore had a nightmare. He had a Shane Duffy-esque nightmare. 2 own goals. George Honeyman, Josh McGuinness on the score sheet. Poor Jack Wackmore. I don't believe it. Actually went with a 3-2 win for Pompey. Shame on me. Shame on bloody me. Sunderland also got back to winning ways with a 1-0 win over Shrewsbury. Or Charlie Wyke, who's been, I think it's 4 goals in like 2 games for him. He's climbing up the charts and the goal scoring charts in the end. 2-1 win for me. 1-0 was the final score, so good result for them. And of course, at the end there, 0-0 draw between Wigan and Fleetwood. Nothing to report here. And as you can see, I got myself 4 out of 9, which is pretty shitty. I'll take a look at the table as it stands. It is Hull at the top of the moment. Of course, on goal difference, Lick City are in second. Peterborough third. Pompey, Doncaster and Charlton make up your power 6 there. Of course, Doncaster 3 games in hand. Win all of those, and they could go top of the pops. Of course, Burton, Swindon, Wigan, Northampton Town going down as it stands. Of course, but lots of drama. Look at that. Sunderland up to 7th. Crewe still in the hunt. Ipswich down to 9th. Accrington Stanley have just had a nightmare recently. And Oxford are just unstoppable at the moment. Let's take a look at, of course, your picks. Let's get into it. Of course, 0-2 in the Strict First Gang. 3-6, just like me, in the Strict First Gang. And of course, 7+, you're in the top bins. Your name is Anna. Absolutely take a bloody bow. Well done, well done, well done. Of course, Nathan Eva did okay as well. Well done, of course. Jonathan Sanham did bits. Okay, did okay. Ultra Omer had a nightmare, but it's okay. I still love you. Finn and Luke, you did okay. Kobe Kodiko with an edit. It's okay, though. You did okay. Jacob's Posh Blogs, you did good. Game China, not too shabby. Olaji Ojo, well done, of course, to you. F. Mogga did bits. STS Jenko also did very, very well as well. Yannick Buster did okay. Shepard also did good. Chris Heen also did okay. Esquivel, not too bad as well. James BCFC are great. Just like you, of course, not too bad. Ava Stringer, not too good. And Jockey Jackson also did very, very well. Vincent Hung did bits. Russell Frost, well done, of course. Keeping it heat at the top. Of course, Oliver Army had a nightmare. Let's take a look at, of course, the leaderboard. If your name is Ultra Omiart or Oliver Army, just go get a drink right now. But if your name is, of course, Anna Rana, take a bloody bow. Of course, the king, queen, whatever you are, you're, of course, leading the charge this week. So take a bloody bow. Lad Jojo's up there to second spot. And then a whole host of you into third. But what does that do to the overall leaderboard? Not much, to be honest with you. Of course, Anorana trying to climb the charts, but of course, your kingpin still is. Of course, Russell Frost with a comfortable lead at the moment with 3 percentage points clearance over STFC Jenko and Jokke Bjerkes, and of course, Jonathan Sand and Game Charlie in your top 5. I'm sure Russell Frost, you can take a couple of days off, but of course, STFC Jenko is making up the ground, keeping up the heat, of course, with Russell Frost. Of course, Jonathan Sand and Jokke Bjerkes, all of them getting 5 this week. So well done to all of them. Okay, just falling back a bit, but it is okay. You'll be all right. So let's get into it. Of course, take a look at the next round of matches. Kicking on off with Accrington Stanley up against Hull City. These games will be taking place on Tuesday. Hull are pretty much close as you can get full fixture list if everything goes well. I think there was actually a couple of postponements in here. But anyway, Accrington Stanley up against Hull. They played each other in the past just 3 times. None for Accrington, 2 for Hull, and 1 bloody draw. The last time around in Accrington was a 2-2 draw in the Carabao Cup back in 2015. Hull came out on top with it eventually on the win. Chuba Akcom, Greg Lew on the score sheet, Matt Crooks and Terry Gornell, of course, 5 years ago. But of course, they played each other in the league already. It was actually just last week, I think. It was a 3-0 win for Hull, goodness gracious me, with goal scorers on the day. Malik Wicks on the score sheet, Josh McGuinness and Gavin White. Cameron Burgess got himself sent off for Accrington, of course, playing catch-up in these games. Hull are undefeated in the last 5 matches in League One. They come into this, of course, back-to-back wins. On the flip side, 3 defeats on the spin for Accrington in all competitions, losing to Lincoln City in the Papa Johns, losing to Gillingham, and also losing to Hull, which was their last game, weirdly enough. Look at the situation and the bookies on this one then, shall we? Accrington Stanley 30-5 for the victory, 35 is your draw, 20-19 on is your Hull. Hull, of course, coming to the top of the pops, and for them, they'll be
To the Buffs. Oh yeah, to the Buffs.
with a big fat W, of course, on the flip side. Accrington coming into this in 10th, and with them, they could go 7th in the bloody league. I've gone with a 3-1 win for Hull, of course I am. Got to play sensible, and of course, I think Hull will take the house on this one. Next up, Gillingham have taken on Crewe, getting into this bad boy then, shall we? Of course, played each other in the past 24 times, 10 wins apiece, and 4 bloody draws, of course, with the last 6 sees 4 for Gillingham, 2 for Crewe, and no bloody draws. Last time around in Gillingham, Priestfields, what's up here, lads? Was in March 2016. Dominic Samuel, of course, back on the books now with Gillingham, ex-Rover, of course, John Guthrie on the score sheet with the big fat OG. They did play each other earlier in the campaign back in November in Crewe, was a 1-0 with Gillingham. So 3 wins on the spin between Gillingham and Crewe over the course of time, stretching all about 5 years, if not more. Gillingham actually kept a clean sheet in 5 the last 7 matches against Crewe in all comps. They also Crewe undefeated in the last 10 though, but Gillingham winning in the last 3, like I said. Heading into this though, Crewe, they are the draw specialists, just 1 win at the past 5, just without defeat though in at least 6. Draw specialist extraordinaire on the flip side, just 1 win in the past 5 for Gillingham. That 1 win was against Accrington Stanley a couple games back. On the flip side, on this bad boy, the bookies, Gillingham 90-10 for the victory, 5-2 draw, 30-10 is your Crewe. Of course, Crewe come into this, into 8th, and for them, they could go as high as 5th in the bloody league. As for Gillingham, they come into this in 13th, and for them, they could go 10th in the table. I've gone with the 2-2 draw, point split right in the middle. I think Crewe will probably be the happier, I think. Gillingham would like to push on, but Crewe just in prime position for making a push for those playoffs. And that point actually could see him in the playoffs. Kicking off further, Burton up against Shrewsbury, 2 teams. I think Shrewsbury on the climb. Burton, of course, needs the points with Jimmy Floyd in charge now. Played each other in the past. How many times? Well, according to my brain, they played each other in the past 18 times. 4 wins for Burton, 8 wins for Shrewsbury, and 6 bloody draws. But the last 6 sees 2 wins for Burton, 1 win for Shrewsbury, and 3 bloody draws. That is correct. Last time played each other in Burton was a 2-1 win for Burton back in December 2018. 2-1 win it was back for Burton. Of course, goal scorers and Liam Boyce, Scott Fraser on the score sheet with Philly Ukinagaberi on the score sheet for Shrewsbury. They also played each other this season in Shrewsbury. Meadow Lane, is that what it is? I don't know. It could be up here, lads. Kane Emmings on the score sheet for Burton. Daniel Udo on the score sheet for Shrewsbury. Meadow Lane, Meadow something, I think. Anyway, heading into this, of course, Shrewsbury back-to-back defeats, of course, losing to Southampton and also losing to Sunderland. No skin off your nose. That's not too bad to get disheartened about. Just 1 win though, at past 6 games for Burton. That was against Gillingham, of course. I think that was Jimmy Floyd's first game in charge, or returning back in charge. What do we have on the bookies on this one? Burton, Albion, Burton. Is it going to go ahead? It's postponed. It's bloody postponed. But anyway, if it was to go ahead, Burton are actually in 24th spot. And with them, they could go nowhere. On the flip side, Shrewsbury are actually in 17th, and with them, they could have gone nowhere as well. So it's as you were, really. I would have went with the 1-0 win for Burton just because. Next up, we have MK Bloody Jones taking on Charlton. They played each other in the past 32 times, 14 wins for MK Dons, 10 wins for Charlton and 9 bloody draws. Goodness gracious me. But the last 6 sees 3 for MK Dons, 2 for Charlton and 1 bloody draw. Last time around though, in Stadium MK, it's a PL lads, 3-0 win for MK Dons. That was in the Carabao Cup back in August 2018. Dylan Ostogasani, Ryan Watson, Joe Cummins was big for OG. Last time played each other in the league in Stadium MK was back in 2018. It was a 2-1 for Charlton though. Ahmed Kasi, Josh McGuinness on the score sheet, Kieran Argard on the score sheet for MK Dons. They played each other earlier in the campaign back in Charlton on the Valley. It was a 1-0 win for MK Dons as well. So 2 wins on the split, or back-to-back wins for MK Dons in all competitions. Heading into this, Charlton have actually conceded at least 2 goals in 8 of the last 9 matches. MK Dons actually defeated in 9 of the last 10 matches at home. They come into this though, 4 wins in the past 6. They did lose to Burton in the FA Cup. They also lost to Peterborough, of course, not too long ago. Meanwhile, just 1 win in the past 6 games for Charlton. That 1 win was against Bristol Rovers, of course, back in the 16th of Jan. Look at the situation out the bookies on this one then, shall we? What do we have? MK Dons 65 for the victory, 23-10 is your draw, 23-10 is your Charlton. Of course, Charlton come into this in 6th. The win for them, they could actually go 5th. MK Dons were 15th at the moment, but a win for them, they could actually go as high as 11th in the bloody table. I've gone with on this one. I've gone with the 2-1 win for MK Dons. They got the form at the moment, and I think they'll take it to the house. Peterborough up against Bristol Rovers, of course, taking these 2 charge players in the past. 23 times, 11 wins for Posh, 6 wins for Bristol Rovers, and 6 bloody draws. But the last 6, I see 3 for Posh, nothing for Bristol Rovers, and 3 bloody draws. Last time around, in Peterborough was a 2-1 win for Peterborough back in August 2018. Goal scorers on the day, Matt Gooden on the score sheet, of course, Mark O'Hara as well. Tom Lockyer, of course, where is he now? He went to Forest, I think, and then to Charlton, I don't know. But yeah, Tom Lockyer on the score sheet for Bristol Rovers last time around. They played each other earlier in the campaign. At Bristol was a 2-0 win for Peterborough. Jack Taylor, Dan Butler on the score sheet as well. Peterborough actually won 13 last 15 matches at home, scoring at least 2 goals in those 13 matches. Peterborough actually undefeated in the last 12 against Bristol Rovers. Undefeated in the last 12 matches against Bristol Rovers in all comps. Heading into this though, 4 wins on the spin for Peterborough. Of course, beating Portsmouth, beating MK Dons, beating Charlton and beating Ipswich. Again, in all comps. On the flip side, 5 defeats on the spin for Bristol Rovers. They look in trouble. Look at the situation and the bookies on this one. We'll go with Peterborough, of course we will. 5-3 on for Peterborough, 3-1 as a draw. 92 is your Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers are actually just above the drop zone, but a win for them, they could actually go as high as 17th. Of course, Peterborough are in third, and a win for them, though, they could go with a bit of lady luck and a bit of goals as well. They need some goals if they're going to do it. They'll get some goals from me, just the 2 though, but I won't think that'll be good enough to go top. Next up, of course, big one here, Portsmouth up against Lincoln City. Of course, played each other in the past. 9 times, 8 wins for Posh. 8 wins for Pompey. 1 win for Lincoln City, of course, heading into this one. Of course, last time played at Fratton Park was a 1-0 win for Portsmouth. That was back in October 2019. John Marquis on the score sheet. They played each other back in Lincoln, back in November this season. A 3-1 win for Pompey as well. John Marquis picked up goals as well. Ronan Curtis getting a goal scorer sheet as well. Tom Hopper getting 1 goal for Lincoln City. Lincoln have actually won the last 4 away matches. Portsmouth have actually won the last 3 against Lincoln City. Lincoln City have actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 3 on the road. They come into this though, Pompey, just 2 wins. 2 wins in the past 3 games, of course, losing heavily to Hull the other day. On the flip side, unbeaten the last 5, that's Lincoln City, picking up 4 wins and a draw to boot, and that's in all competitions as well. Look at the situation and the bookies on this one then. Portsmouth will be 11-10 for the victory, 12-5 is your Lincoln City, 12-5 is also your draw. Of course, heading into this, Lincoln are actually in second, and for them, they could go
Oh yeah! The
Pops. And for Pompey though, they could go as high as 3rd in the table. Of course, a little bit of a gap now between themselves and the top 2. I've gone with a response on Portsmouth here, 3-2 win to get back to winning ways after that shocker against Hull. So next up we have Rochdale, free scoring Rochdale up against Oxford, of course, who were climbing the bloody table. They played each other in the past. How many times? According to my mind, they played each other, I don't even know. There they are. They played each other 23 times. 7 wins for Rochdale, 11 wins for Oxford, and 5 bloody draws. But the last 6 sees 4 for Oxford, nothing for Rochdale, and 2 bloody draws. Last round at Spotland. It's up here, lads. It was a 0-0 draw back in March 2019. However, the last time they played each other this season, it was at the Kazam. It was back in November. It was a 3-1 win for Oxford as well. Elliot Moore on the score sheet with a couple of goals. Olamide Shadipo as well. Matthew Lund again on the goal score sheet for Rochdale. Of course, Oxford actually won the last 5 matches in the division. Rochdale actually conceded 3 goals in the last 3 at home. Oxford actually kept a clean sheet in the last 3 away matches against Rochdale in all comps. Heading into this, so 5 wins on the spin for Oxford in all competitions. On the flip side, look at this though. I just can't get my head around this. 7, 10. 12 goals Rochdale have scored in the past 5 games. That's pretty good. But they've also conceded 13 goals in the past 5 games. That's madness. Just 1 defeat though in the past 5 for Rochdale. 1 defeat was against Doncaster. Besides that, we have a 2-2 draw, 3-3 draw, 4-4 draw, 3-3 draw. Absolutely bedlam for Rochdale at the moment. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one. We have Rochdale coming at you. Is this match going to go ahead? Oh yeah, can't see it. I can't see it. Oh, there it is. 10-3 for Rochdale. 11-4 to draw is the draw. 5-4 is, of course, Oxford United. United, of course, into 11th. The win for them, they could actually go as high as 10th. Whereas Rochdale are in 18th spot at the moment, but with them, they could go 17th in the league. I liked Rochdale the way they're playing at the moment, but I think Oxford will take this one quite comfortably with a 3-0 win at the end. Swindon Town taking on Plymouth, of course, next up. Played each other in the past. 32 times, 14 wins for Swindon, 13 wins for Plymouth, 5 draws, of course. Familiar foes from last season out in League Two. They played each other last season. There was a 1-1 draw back in Swindon. It was back in October 2019. They've actually played each other already this season. It was a 4-2 win for Plymouth. Home Park, is that where they play? Luke Jepcott with a couple of goals there. Joe Edwards and Conor Grant on score sheet for Plymouth. Hallam Hope and Anthony Grant on score sheet as well for Swindon. Johnny Smith got himself carded off. That's back in November, of course. Heading into this, Swindon actually conceded at least 2 goals in the last 6 matches. They head into this, of course, though. Just won with the past 6. That one was against Ipswich, a 3-2 win. On the flip side, Plymouth coming to this, just one defeat the past 5 for them. That one defeat was against who the heck is it? Sheffield United in the FA Cup. So unbeaten in the last 3 in the league. So looking pretty good for Plymouth if they can get some more consistency to that. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Swindon come into this 70-10 for the victory, 5-2 is draw, 6-4 is your Plymouth. Plymouth come into this, of course, in 14th, and win for them they could actually go as high as 10th in the table. Swindon come into this in 23rd, and win for them they could actually go as high as 17th in the league on this one. I like Plymouth, but I think they'll just get the point out of this one with a 2-2 draw in the end. Bit of a Northwest crunch clash this one. Next up, Wigan up against Blackpool. Of course, played each other in the past 25 times, 11 wins apiece and 3 draws, of course. Last time around at the DW was a 2-0 win for Blackpool. That was back in 2018. Atman Jean Delay on the score with Kevin Mellor as well. They also played each other at Bluefield back in November this season. It was a 1-0 win for Blackpool. Sule Kakai on the score sheet. Of course, you've got to go back to 2000. You got to go back to where? I don't even know. You've got to go all the way back to 2014 for Wigan's last victory over Blackpool at the DW in the league, of course. But Wigan are actually undefeated in the last 5 matches in League One, so they are turned to corner at the moment. But they've drawn a lot of them. They've drawn at least the last 3 of the last 4. First, I just won in the past 6-4. Blackpool, that was a 1 win was against West Brom in the FA Cup. But look at the situation out of the bookies on this one. Of course, 13-5 for Wigan. Maybe they've turned to corner. 30-5 is a draw. Even Stevens for Blackpool. Of course, Blackpool come into this sitting in actually in 60th spot at the moment. Not looking good, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 11th. Wigan are actually in 22nd spot, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 17th in the league. And then maybe, just maybe, they can start to think about pushing up that table. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Wigan. I believe in them. I believe that they'll get the win over Blackpool and start to get some points on the board. Next up, we have Doncaster taking on Wimbledon. Of course, played each other in the past 8 times. 2 wins for Doncaster, 3 for Wimbledon, and 3 bloody draws. But the last 6 is 2 wins for Doncaster, 2 wins for Wimbledon, and 2 bloody draws. Last round at Keep Moat was in the FA Cup back in November 2019. It was a 2-0 win for Doncaster. James Coppinger, Rakesh Bingham on the score sheet. Of course, last time played each other in the league in Doncaster at the Keep Moat was a 2-1 win, of course, for Doncaster back in November 2018. They also played each other this season at Wimbledon. It was a 2-2 draw back in, of course, the 3rd of November. Joe Piggott with a couple of goals there. Matthew Smith, Joe Scumpiture as well. Heading to this, Doncaster have actually won 6 of the last 7 matches in League One, whereas Wimbledon have actually failed to win their last 9. Doncaster winning 4 of the past 6 in all competitions. Of course, losing to West Ham just the other day. On the flip side, just 1 win the past 5 for Wimbledon. That was against Bristol Rovers in the Papa Johns. Look at the situation and the bookies on this one. What do we have on this one? Doncaster coming into this 4-3 on for the victory. 11-4 is your draw. 7-2 is your away win. Wimbledon come into this in just above the drop zone, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 70 for the table. Doncaster come into this in 5th, and a win for them. They could actually go as high as 3rd in the league with games in hand. Of course, I've gone with Doncaster. Of course, they have with a 2-0 win at the Keep Moat. Next up, with Fleetwood Town. Of course, I think they're more likely to go down after getting rid of Joey, but I just don't believe. I don't know why they did it. I don't know why that move was made. I thought Burton had another job nailed on, and I think he would make a good manager at the championship level sort of stuff. I'm not saying as a Rovers manager, but I think he's got that that attitude to really rough up some feathers, and maybe he roughed up too many feathers at Fleetwood. Anyway, taking on Fleetwood Town, taking on Northampton Town. Played each other in the past 10 times, 5 wins for Fleetwood, 4 wins for Northampton, and 1 bloody draw. But the last 6 sees 4 for Fleetwood, 1 for Northampton, and 1 bloody draw. Last time around at Fleetwood was in March 2018. Fleetwood won 2-0 in the end. Carl Dempsey on the score sheet, Chime Bogger as well. They also played each other in Northampton back in December. Of course, it was 1-0 win for the Northamps on this one. Keane Bogger as well on the score sheet, this time for Northampton. Whoa, the mind boggles on this one. Fleetwood Town have actually kept a clean sheet in the last 4 matches against Northampton Town in all comps. Fleetwood actually won their last 4 matches at home against Northampton as well. Heading into this though, Northampton without a win at 6. Just 1 win in the past 6 games for Northampton was against Gillingham, of course, in the league. Look at the situation out of the bookies on this one then, shall we? Fleetwood actually 5-3 on for the victory. 3-1 is draw. 92 is your Northampton. Northampton coming into this in the drop zone, but for them they could actually go as high as 17th. Fleetwood Town are in 12th at the moment, but for them they could go into the top 10 about Accrington in the end. I've gone with a draw on this one. Yeah, I don't know about Fleetwood right now. I really can't see it. Into the final one here, we have Ipswich Town up against Sunderland at Portman Road. They played each other in the past. How many times? 53 times, 23 wins for Sunderland. Sorry, 23 wins for Ipswich, 22 wins for Sunderland, and 8 draws. But the last 6 see 2 wins for Ipswich, 3 for Sunderland, and 1 bloody draw. Last time around at Portman Road was back in August 2019. It was a 1-1 draw. Luke Garbutt on the score sheet with Lyndon Gooch as well for Sunderland. Last time around though, or in fact earlier in the season, was 2-1 win for Sunderland at the Stadium in Light. That was back in November 2020. Charlie Wyke on the score sheet, Grant Ledbetter as well. Jack Lancaster on the score sheet for Ipswich with Andre Gazelle got himself sent off. Sunderland have actually kept a clean sheet in their last 3 away matches. Ipswich have actually lost their 5 of the last 6 at home. Sunderland though are undefeated in the last 10 away. Ipswich are undefeated against in their last 5 home matches against Sunderland in all comps. Heading into this, Ipswich winning 3, losing 3 in the past 6. On the flip side, just 1 defeat in the past 6 for Sunderland, and 1 defeat was against Plymouth, and that was at home. Of course, heading into this bad boy, what do we have on this one? Ipswich 5-2 for the victory, 23-10 is draw. 11-10 is your Sunderland on this badass. Of course, heading into this, Sunderland are in 7th, and for them they could actually go as high as 5th. Ipswich come into in 9th, and for them they could go as high as 6th in the bloody table. That's playoffs, folks. That's playoffs. I've gone with on this one with the 2-1 win for Sunderland on the road. That is right. And if I'm right, which is what I hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Hull City will be kings of the pings at the moment. 3 points clear over Peterborough with whoever game in hand on Hull. Lincoln down to 3rd. Portsmouth, Doncaster and Sunderland make up your top 6. That's a fruity looking playoffs right there. Burton, Wimbledon, Swindon and Bristol Rovers going down as it stands. But of course, all to play for as we get into the meat of the matter. And hopefully we can get the season to a close, as we don't want no situation like we did last season. But anyway, that's what I think will happen this time around. Of course, be sure to get your picks in nice and early for this one to get yourselves back in the old prediction league hunt. And of course, we'll be back again next time around for some more League One action. But until then, though, be sure to give the video some love and smash that thumbs up. Come on, I want you to do it. You and you. And you, smash that thumbs up. And of course, be sure to give the video some love in. And of course, check out the links down below. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and all that kind of jazz. And also, if you want to become the latest member of the Broverhood, check out the link, patreon.com/Roverseas. But until then, though.